Welcome to the Rolling Around Podcast. Join me, retired Stockton PD James Nance, for exciting conversation and tons of interesting guests. I was right around 5,000 miles in just about 180-ish, maybe a little more, 180, 190 behind the wheel. It was a lot of driving. Share with me. Weight is everything. I don't want to carry around something that's just weighs a ton. This is the Rolling Around Podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to the Rolling Around Podcast. Today's going to be a little different. I just recorded one just a little bit ago, but this podcast is going to be some questions. And thank you for everybody that sent questions to the, I get text messages on the podcast phone. I got a few on my email, and I appreciate that, and I love answering them. I'm going to try and stick to a theme. First of all, today, a lot of people, I guess from my Instagram page, asked me quite a few questions about hunting this season and stuff like that. So if you're not a hunter or you're not into outdoors or stuff like that, you might not like this one, or you want to move on. That's cool. But for the ones that text and ask questions, I'm gonna answer them. I'm gonna answer them all. Some of them were repeat, so I kind of grouped them in. Into to where I don't have to answer everyone individually. And unless you specifically tell me you want me to use your name, I'm never going to use a name, so nobody has to worry about that. So, starting with a lot of questions about my hunting season this year. I did a lot of travel. I went to 3 different states. I started this season in upper state Nevada between Eureka and Ely. That was an antelope hunt, and I was with the Nevada Outdoorsmen in Wheelchairs, and I was very, very kindly invited by Mike Ayazi. Fantastic hunt. I'm going to do a whole recap dedicated to this hunting season because it seems like I got a lot of requests for that. So there'll be photos and videos and stuff like that. But I started the season with the antelope hunt here in Nevada. Then I went to Central Oregon, the Prineville area, and hunted with just my buddy Matt Borden, and got an archery buck. Youngest son Logan was there. Youngest son, he's 30 years old, but youngest son. And then I went on to an area above Price, Utah, and I got a beautiful, beautiful bull elk. And again, I'll drop photos in this as I'm telling you about these. I came home for a week or so and went back to Utah for a mule deer hunt, and probably saw more does in one weekend than I've seen in a long time. No bucks. After I left, there was a couple of the guys did get a couple of bucks, nice ones too. Traveled. I was right around 5,000 miles in just about 180-ish, maybe a little more, 180, 190 behind the wheel. It was a lot of driving. My wheelchair, I use either my regular wheelchair or I have my own track chair, but I was very fortunate. My Utah bull elk hunt, I used a wheelchair from Track Action Utah, Brock Carter, who Brock is going to be on this podcast. We weren't able to link up this time. Schedules got a little crazy, but he'll be on, and we'll recap that entire elk hunt because that was fantastic. And Brock is just one hell of a nice guy, and I enjoyed that whole thing. And I also I got a Can-Am Commander Max XTP. It's a 1000. That's a side by side, and I hunt out of that whenever or wherever I can. It's great. It's comfortable, and it gets me around everywhere I need to go. My wheelchair just goes in the back of it, and I'm sure I have some photos of that. So I'll put some photos of that up too. And it does have hand controls. It's got the same hand controls that I got in my truck. They're made by Vigal, and they're super. What I was surprised about was all the questions I got about my rifle. Not quite sure why. I mean, I've just always been around guns and rifles, and I kind of look at them and just kind of take them for granted. But for all those that asked, it's a Fierce, made by Fierce Firearms in I think it's Redmond, Utah. And I got it from Sean. I'll tell you, Sean Sorensen there. You want a rifle, that guy will get you squared away. I was there about an hour and a half, and I left there with the exact rifle that I wanted, and he's been fantastic ever since. If anybody wants his contact information, let me know, but you can always reach out to Fierce Firearms. But it's a Fierce CT Rival. It's got a carbon fiber barrel, and it's got a titanium action. And the reason I went with that, just because, it sounds so fancy, I'm just going to tell you, in a wheelchair with me, weight is everything. I don't want to carry around something that's just weighs a ton. So I went with the carbon fiber barrel, the titanium action. It is in a 6.5 PRC, and it has a silencer central suppressor on it. Being in the beautiful state of Nevada, we can have suppressors, and I'll tell you, I got a suppressor on all my rifles, and to the point where whenever I get a suppressor from my rifle, I just Loctite it and it goes on and it never comes off. It's great. The scope I have on it, it's a Leupold Mark V HD 5-25 by 56. It's a first focal plane, and it has the TMR reticle. And I used, for everything this year, I used a Hornady 147 grain ELD match. And that rifle was shot absolute lights out for me. The Antelope, he was 349 yards away, and I know that because I ranged him just before I shot him with my Sig Kilo binoculars. And the elk he was at, and I know this sounds like I'm getting into the weeds of it, but I only know it because I ranged it. He was at 350.2 yards. It was, both shots were super happy with them. The rifle's great. Let's see. A lot of the stuff I have on my rifle, and I'll talk about a few more things here in a few minutes that I got going. I got stuff from Michael Look with precision rifle stuff in North Carolina, and let me tell you, if anybody's looking for anything for their rifle or their competition setup, I can tell you he is fantastic to work with. And, you kind of get stuff Ricky Tick. It comes quick unless it's on back order, like a chassis I'm waiting for right now. But that's all right. And as for the actual shooting, I can't say enough about Dan Bertacchini. He's a shooter for MDT and Leupold. And he and I got together a couple of times, and I could tell you when we were done with the days, my rifle and me, if you can believe it, we were locked on. And, without those three guys specifically, I mean, they got me where I needed to be with my rifle, and I can't thank them enough. Upcoming, I have an NRR we're going to do, me and Dan and Michael's going to be in on it. We're going to do an NRL 22 build, and I've absolutely committed myself to no less than 3 NRL 22 matches in 2026. And we're going to see how that goes. I'm looking forward to it. They do have an adaptive division, and I talked to the match director for the club I'm going to go to, and sounds like he's done this before, and I'm going to see how it goes. But I'm looking forward to it. And then later in 26 or maybe mid 26, I'm going to do a 22 Creedmoor or 25 Creedmoor build, maybe both. We'll see how that goes. Social media. I guess I put the antelope on social media. I put the deer on social media, and the elk I just did a Instagram story. I'm the first to admit it. I'm terrible at social media. Not necessarily the doing it; it's the making the time to do it. I get so caught up in the time that I'm there and after I'm there that sometimes I just don't want to sit there and deal with typing stuff out, but I'm going to get better at it. Several people mentioned that, and I told them the same thing I'm going to say now. I don't know where I heard it, but I heard the phrase, and it's often, and I've repeated it. Social media is neither social nor is it media. I think a lot of people get accused of maybe posting just the best stuff in their life. I don't know why you would, post all the garbage, but I guess some people do that too. I don't know. I can tell you that when I post stuff, it's because it was great stuff, or it's something that I want to, just live on and I want people to see. I'll I'll get to my reasoning behind that at the end of this, because I got some words on that. Yeah, I think that's about all I'm going to cover on that, because I already went into the other. Yeah, people post just the good stuff. I can tell you, and I mean this very sincerely. I don't think it's any secret. I had a terrible accident in 2018. Left me a spinal cord injury. It was kind of touch and go for a little bit. And after you have an experience like that, I can tell you it is hard for me to have a bad day. Again, I think just by nature, I'm positive, and I certainly want to keep it that way. I'm very, very fortunate. I'm surrounded. I have a wonderful family. I have a circle of friends that, I wish everybody could have the circle of friends that I have, including the guy sitting behind the console right now. And I'll tell you, I can never say enough about my wife. She is absolutely fantastic, and at some point I'm going to try and talk her into it. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it, but at some point I'd love to have her on this podcast, because she's got one incredible story too. And I'll never put words in her mouth. I'm not going to say anything about it. It's her story, and I'm going to let her tell it. But I can tell you, I'm in a pretty damn good station in life, and I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade this accident at all, because I can tell you, because of this accident, I have met some of the most gracious people this world has to offer. You're going to hear me say that over and over again, and I'm absolutely humbled to know them. And it's pretty good. There is going to be a full recap on my hunting season, and I'll warn everybody about that too. If you don't care about hunting or you don't want to listen about it, that's fine. But I enjoy talking about it, and by the number of comments, by the number of text messages that I got, and by the number of emails, I guess there's other people out there that are interested in it too. And I enjoy hearing from others that are in a wheelchair, or maybe amputees that, have thought about it, or they haven't really, I have a couple, they haven't hunted. And, I can't guarantee that I'll get you on a hunt, but I'll tell you what, man, if you get near me, or if you want me to come to you, I will get you where you need to be able to hunt in a wheelchair. And I don't care if it's rifle. I don't care if it's a bow. I got both this year. I got three out of the two were with a rifle. One was with a bow. The bow was right around 45 yards, and it was the mule deer, and he went right down. I enjoy passing along the knowledge that's been passed along to me. Duck hunting. Yes, a lot of you know that duck hunting was my first passion. I duck hunted just about all my life. I absolutely loved it. I can tell you that I've done it a couple of times since my accident, and it just frustrates the shit out of me. It drives me crazy. I have a very narrow window that I can swing, and unless that duck comes right at me or goes right over the top of my head, it just frustrates me to no end, and I just haven't got back out to do it. Can I do it? Yeah, sure I can, but I've killed thousands and thousands of ducks, so I might as well move on to something that's a little more I don't want to say easier. Maybe something that's a little more of a challenge for me in a wheelchair. So that's going to be the end of this one. I'm sure there'll be a few little things on Instagram and whatnot about it. But if anybody has any more questions about my rifle, my bow setup, anything like that, by all means, let me know. Let's see. Nevada Outdoorsman and Wheelchairs, antelope hunt. My buddy Matt, and all his hard work, and his family there in Prineville, Oregon, and the people of Prineville. My gosh, what a great town. Thank you for all their help. And let's see, Utah. We're going to call that hunt. It doesn't officially have a name, but we're going to call it the Wheelchair Bound 2025 elk hunt. And I'll get videos, and that's because that's the name of the ranch, the Wheelchair Bound. The WB is what they call it. This is Nora. I don't know if you can see her. She's always wandering around here pulling wires out and all kinds of stuff. So we had a little faux pas at the beginning, but we got it fixed up. Next time, I'll have some more questions. I wanted to keep these to hunting. Down. I wanted to keep these to hunting and whatnot. I'll get some. I'll get photos posted in here. I might have a short video and stuff. How I shoot out of my track chair. That is. Oh, the NRL 22 build. I told you about that. All right. I know I'm just mumbling here, but I don't want to forget anything. Okay. If anybody has anything, don't be afraid to text me at the Rolling Around Podcast phone. That number is 209-242-5814. You can call it. It's usually always on silent, but I always look at the text messages. The email's therollingaroundpodcast@gmail.com, and I'm on the Rolling Around Podcast is also on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, everybody take care, and I'll see you later. You just experienced the Rolling Around Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe for more thrilling stories, exciting adventures, and special guests from all over. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Rolling Around Podcast. Do you want to be on our next episode? Contact us at the therollingaroundpodcast@gmail.com or give us a ring on our trap phone at 209-242-5814. Thanks for watching. See you next time.